So I've run two tracks in my life. From a very young age, I have been exploring body, mind, spirit, learning about energy, psychology, did 7 years of Jung, have been involved in many different religions and so on, and finding out about the nature of energy and the nature of life. And on the other hand, I've been growing businesses from a very, very young age. And the last business I was in, the biggest part of my life, was in fund management. I owned a fund management business, which I sold and successfully retired about a decade ago, and then started to teach about wealth expansion, but from the energetic perspective. So what this work does, the money alchemy work, is it bridges the worlds of finance and metaphysics, giving you a different way of looking at wealth expansion, but at the same time giving you very practical, results orientated tools that you can use. So there are several books that I've written. Money Alchemy is the one we're going to focus on in this work that I'm talking about today. This is a brief introduction on the underlying pillars of the Money Alchemy work, the WealthWorks work, you can say, because all this work falls under money, energy, and consciousness, which is really what WealthWorks Institute is about. So the Money Alchemy book is the first book that I wrote, and it's actually nearly a decade later now that this last third imprint is being brought out. It's available in bookstores, and I ask you to get a copy of this either online as an ebook or a physical copy, because I'm going to be referring to some of the sections in this book that you can use. In Wealth Expansion 101, we're going to look at three triads which form the foundation of working with money as energy. So the first triad, we're looking at where you are right now, energetically speaking, with regards to wealth. So we're going to look at reality, beliefs, and intent. That is going to be the foundation, really, of your money energetic matrix. The second triad, we're looking at where you're going. And there we'll be looking at aspirations, stroke purpose. We're going to look at destination, stroke goal. And we're going to look at flow, which is the thing that links the two together. Finally, we're going to look at how you get there, which is containment, parameters, and action. So those are the three triads that form a kind of very basic foundation. That's why I'm calling it Wealth Expansion 101 of this work, the Money Alchemy work, the WealthWorks Institute work, the Kiki Theo work, working with money and energy as process of transformation. So before we start, I want to focus my intent, and it's my intent that I help you to the next level on your path. It's my intent that I help you expand wealth in a very practical, tangible, real way. And perhaps you spend a moment now focusing on your intent. What is your intent? Because the clearer your intent, as you'll discover through this work, the clearer your intent in going in to do this work, the more benefit you will derive from it. So spend a few moments now contemplating, what is your intent? What do you want? Why are you doing this course? So before we begin, the question I'd like to ask you, the question I want to put to you is, what would you do if you knew you could not fail? That's a question worth considering. Contemplate that, and let's begin.